major chord his love, and she got it right. What she played it on came from the light.
Welcome to Grandma's Journals. This channel began with a collection of handwritten journals, pages filled with everyday moments, quiet faith, family stories, and a kind of wisdom that only comes from a life well lived. These journals belong to my Grandma Peggy. Inside them are her thoughts, her prayers, her joys, and her struggles. Moments that may have felt ordinary at the time, but now feel priceless. My hope is that as you listen, you'll feel connected to her story and maybe even your own. Thanks for being here. This is Grandma's Journal.
The beauty of the song is joy in her eyes. The major chord is love, and she got it right.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Grandma's Journals. It is Monday morning. No, it's not. It is Monday afternoon right now here in Georgia. It's Monday morning in Arizona, and most people listening probably are in Arizona. But it's been a Monday. It's been a Monday morning. So I say, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to record an episode of Grandma's Journal because that always makes me happy and makes me feel good. And so I'm just going to pretend like it hasn't been the Mondays. And we're going to jump into 1985. Let's go back to the wonderful year of 1985. I'm assuming it was wonderful. I wasn't alive yet. Soon I will be alive. All right, we're going to jump right in. January 1985. January 4th, we went back to Elfrida. It seems like we just get there and there is so many things to do, and Alec gets so upset. I think if we just didn't go, he would be better off. But I realize we have to go. Alec's dad is not well, and we don't have much time left to be with him, so I do want Alec to spend as much time as possible. His dad wants him to do everything as soon as he hits town, and I know it is because his dad can't do it anymore, and then the pressure is on Alec, and then he doesn't want to do anything. It is so hard to do everything in a couple of days, but we try to do a little every time we go. We went to church on Sunday and visited with everyone. We went to visit with Alec's mom, Blanche. She is doing a little better. I know they want us to come back and forth every 10 days, but it is really hard on us because Alec really doesn't get any days off. He is always on the go, and I think the stress is greater than he thinks. At least I feel that it is what is causing all his aches and pains. Well, it's Monday morning already, and we go back to Mesa. We always hate to go because Alec's folks do get upset to see us go, and Alec thinks he is letting his folks down. But I keep trying to convince him he has to have a life of his own, and right now it is not down in Elfrida. It seems that as soon as we come back to Mesa, Alec settles down and does so much better. He went to the doctor, and most of his problem was stress and hiatal hernia. A good diet and nothing to eat after 6 p.m. It was good to be back in Mesa and just take it easy and enjoy each other for a while. We are supposed to be in the 4th Ward in Lehigh, but no one has ever been here to greet us and tell us when and where to go. So at this time, I am attending 2nd Ward until someone tells me where to go. Tyler Wayne Fricke is old enough now, and on the 18th, we are taking him to see his great-grandfather Clark Porter Hunt. Tyler is our daughter Lori Fricke's second baby. Alec has been with Salt River Project now for 7 months. It doesn't seem like he has been there that long, but time goes by so fast. We are almost ready to go back to Elfrida. Lori called, and Cameron, her oldest boy, a 2-year-old, has pneumonia, so she has decided not to go to Elfrida with us. I don't know if Granddad will get to see him or not. Clark has not been too well, so we try to go to Elfrida on Alec's days off. It is really hard on us, but I think we all know Granddad has just a short time on this old earth. All right, January 18th, 1985. Alec and I traveled to Elfrida, arriving close to 11 a.m. Alec was a little nervous, but calmer than usual. We went to the post office to get our mail, then to visit his mom. She was not too good, but feeling somewhat better. We went onto the house and then turned on the water, gas, electricity. We went to We went down to his dad's house and visited a little with him. He was really disappointed that Lori and the baby was not with us. I went on home and Alec stayed to visit with his dad. He usually had a million things for Alec to do, but this time he just sat down and visited with Alec for a few hours. Alec was pretty happy when he came back to the house. We have so many things to do at our house. Alec wants to get the garage cleaned up and trash thrown away. We ate dinner and relaxed, watched TV for a while, and went to bed. We got up early and started cleaning and throwing away. I guess deep down we both know we will have to move to Mesa, but it's hard to give up your home and move on, so I guess we will just take it one step at a time. We were trying to get all of our work done because the kids were coming over, Jeanette and Jim, with Clint, Tanner, Justin, and Brooke Ann. We are going to celebrate Clint's 11th birthday. They all came about 1 o'clock and Clint was excited for his party. We fixed dinner and Jeanette and the kids went down to take Granddad some cookies and they visited for a while. She got back about 5 o'clock and we were waiting for Alec to get through talking to a friend, Harvey Allen. He came in about 6 p.m. We were all just about ready to eat and the phone rang and Ruth screamed into the phone to come quick. Alec and Jim ran down to Granddad's house and found him out in the corrals where he had went to turn off the water for the cows. His heart had worn out and he went very easy. All Alec could do was hold him in his arms until he came. As soon as Jim called, or rather Alec called us, we went right down to help Ruth. She was hysterical and it was hard to calm her. They brought him up from the corrals to the ambulance and we took Ruth out to see him. She was still hysterical and we took her in the house. As she went in, I stopped to talk to Alec at the back door. He just hit his hand on the post and looked up at me and said, "I loved that old man. I really loved him." I couldn't hardly contain myself, so I called Bishop Mortensen to come and help me. He gave Ruth a blessing, which helped settle her down. Jeanette and the kids came down. Clint's birthday party never was celebrated that night, but the kids were real close to Granddad and really upset with his death. Justin asked a million questions. We tried hard to answer each one. Death is not easy for any of us, but to a 6-year-old, it is more than he can comprehend. We were really glad Jim was there. Being a deputy, he knew what to do and who to call. One of the hardest things Alec had to do was to call his family and tell them that their dad had died. When we finally got a hold of his sister Roberta, we found out that her husband Travis had a heart attack and was in a coma in the hospital in Phoenix. The day before we came to Elfrida, my stepmom, Marie Faraday, passed away. It was a sad week, although we are thankful for so many things. With everyone's help, the funeral was beautiful and everything turned out so nice. Bishop Mortensen spoke, and Steve Hunt, Clark's grandson, and our son gave the eulogy. It was hard on him, but he did a beautiful job, and Jennifer, his wife, sang a special song that was so pretty. Jim Hargrave gave the opening prayer, and a young man by the name of Chris Isaacs gave the closing prayer. He was Clark's next-door neighbor in Mesa and said he never knew his grandfather, but if he did, he would hope he would have been like Clark. It was a long week, and after we buried Granddad on Wednesday, the 23rd of January, Alec and I went home the next day. Clark was buried by his mom and dad and brothers, Carl and Nerge. Ruth stayed in Elfrida with her grandson, Danny Carroll. Alec missed his dad, but knew he had to let go. He did real good after we got home. He got involved in his job and found things to do and places to go. February came around fast, and on February 3rd, Alec blessed his 9th grandson, Tyler Wayne Fricke. After the blessing, we all went to Lori and Bill's and celebrated this happy occasion with a breakfast at the Frickes. Bill's family is not LDS, but they all attended and came to celebrate the occasion. Lori always has everything so nice. We had fruit bowls and bagels and cream cheese, which were delicious. Hang on, I gotta get my editing pen out. I always notice something wrong when I'm doing this. Here it is. Okay. Also in February, we celebrated Doc's, Alec's stepdad's birthday, and also our grandson, Justin, had a birthday on February 10th. We bought all of the boys a fishing pole this year, and we are hoping to move up to the dam in July or August. A Salt River Project house is available at that time, and we are hoping to get it. In March, we celebrated 3 grandkids' birthdays. March 1st, Stephanie Lee Hunt turned 3 years old, and Tabitha Rhodes, Steve and Jennifer's daughter, turned 7. Also, Tanner Allen Hargrave turned 8 years old. We missed Tanner's baptism, but now that we are in Mesa, we will have to do what we can and when we can. I know how important this is to our grandchildren, and we do try to be there when we can. April 1985. I feel like when I'm reading these, we just kind of like speed through a year, but I'm like, that's how life is right now. Like, it was just Christmas yesterday, and now it's already March 16th. Crazy. So life goes as fast as these journals go when I'm reading them, I feel like. All right, April 1985. April was the starting of weddings that seemed to gather at this time of year. One of the weddings we attended was a former Lehigh bishop, Bishop Jones, who we always considered our bishop. He lost his wife some 4 years ago and married a very lovely lady. The last part of April, I started manicurist school to be a manicurist. They are doing great things for fingernails, painting on sculptured nails, striping with gold and silver stripes, striping with gold and silver stripes, putting on gold ornaments, painting pictures on nails. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to go to school and make some bucks while it was going great. I went to school with Cindy and Sharon and Brenda Scheel and Chris. The girls were all young, and I was the old lady of the group, but they treated me sweet, and we had lots of fun. School was boring, but the girls make it fun and enjoyable. The instructors were great and patient, Arlene and Darlene. I was glad to get out of school. Just before I left school, a beauty shop, Hairport, called the school to see if anyone wanted a job. I took the call, made an appointment, and got the job. I hadn't finished school or even taken my state board. They asked me to do a manicure and put on a sculptured nail, and they hired me. It was good to be out of school and free again. I should have known by that I didn't want to work and be trapped, but I still thought it would be fun. For 3 weeks, I waited to take the state board. In the meantime, we went to Elfrida on May 7th. It was the weekend of Mother's Day, and so I gave Blanche and Ruth a manicure and pedicure for Mother's Day. May 9th was our 32nd wedding anniversary, which we did not celebrate. Nowhere to celebrate or anywhere to go in Elfrida. May 10th, we came home. Alec's big thing is garage selling or yard sales. That is so popular. We always find something useful. Sunday was Mother's Day, and I went to see my mom and visit with her and gave her a manicure and a pedicure. She was doing real good and is getting ready to go to Hawaii on June 8th for 9 days with my sister, Emily Thompson, and her daughter, Valerie, and her stepdaughter, Tiffany, and stepdaughter, Karen. Mom is really excited and has saved for a long time for this big event. She has bought a new wardrobe and is almost ready to go. She is 68 years old and still working. She is supervisor over a janitor job for the GE building in Phoenix. She is in excellent health and doing great. On June 8th, Mom and the gang left for Hawaii. On June 12th, I took my state board. It was pretty easy, and we had a real nice instructor. One of the girls I went to school with had a sister who worked at the state board. She was real friendly and also made us all feel comfortable. I took Janet Crosby as my lady to do the manicure. We had a nice day. We went out to eat and just got comfortable. They told us that day that we all passed the written test, and 2 days later, we got our congratulations that we passed. Then I sent right in the same day for my license. I was trying to get it before I went to work on June 22nd. I got the license on the 20th on Thursday before I went to work on Saturday the 22nd. In the meantime, our refrigeration went out in our house, which was located at 2741 North Gilbert. It was 110 to 118, and it was hot. Yeah, you gotta have AC in Phoenix or you'll die. I'm sure it was hot. We found out we're going to get the SRP house on Granite Reef Dam. We spent the hot afternoon shopping for furniture and carpet for the new home. We have waited a long time to buy new things. Alec has never bought a new car or pickup, but this was the year for new things. The latter part of May, Alec bought a new pickup. He picked it out at Brown & Brown Chevrolet. We were renting a house from Henry Brown. He owns Brown & Brown. He gave us a real good deal. But when I went to see it, I made Alec change colors from tan to blue with a white stripe. I'm going to pause. I'm sure every single one of us grandkids just that the truck just flashed through our eyes. We all know that truck, right? Okay, sorry. He agreed even if it did cost extra for the neat paint job, but he has really got the compliments on his truck and has never enjoyed something so much. Well, we picked out the carpet and some furniture for the new home. We are supposed to move July 1st. My first day at work was like most jobs, terrible at the first day. I had Sunday off and went back Monday for one patron, then home and went back Tuesday. It was terrible. I never felt so trapped in my whole life. I had to stay there whether I had any patrons or not. It was really trying, and I was ready to quit. I had to work with their product, and I was not used to it, and it was hard to work with, and I got upset. Plus, we were getting ready to move. It was so hot in the house, and I didn't want to go to work. I went that Saturday the 22nd, plus the next week. Things were better, but I was still trapped and sometimes staying there all day with no patrons. Well, I will see how next week goes. I feel you, Grandma. I feel like if I ever had to go back to work, that's how I would feel. Like after being able to like be a stay-at-home mom and then, just work for our own business and just having my own schedule. Yeah. It would be rough. I feel you. All right, Saturday, June 30th. We were supposed to move today, but the house has not been inspected, and we can't move until it has been. Also, for 2 weeks, we have had hostages over in... Okay, I'm going to pause. In case any of you, if I have not said this before, I am a crappy reader. I love to read, and I am always reading, but sounding out words that I do not know... I am basically telling you guys that I'm dumb. So just like when I say words wrong, when I cannot read them, just, laugh and move on with me because I kind of suck at reading. So anyways, we've had hostages over in Beirut, I don't know, for 2 weeks. They have finally set them free today by taking them to Frankfurt, Germany. They hijacked a plane, sent the women and children home, and kept 39 men. They said when the Israelites turned 300 captives loose, they would let our people go. They let 17 people go, but kept the rest. It was 30 days before they were set free. July, August, and September 1985. It is amazing how time flies. We moved into the house July 3rd. We put in blue carpet through the whole house. It is not a big home, but Alec and I really like the home and love it out here on Granite Reef. Jim and Jeanette have moved back to Mesa, and Jim and our son Steven have gone into business together in the stucco business that Steven had already going in Mesa. It's nice having the kids close and seeing our grandchildren grow up. We have the kids here often and love for them to come. We have a real special bunch of kids and grandkids, and we are so thankful for them and for their love. The months are passing so quickly, it's hard to keep up with everything. We celebrated Brooke's birthday in July. She is the only girl in the Hargrave family and spoiled rotten, but she is so cute and it's hard to resist those big brown eyes. She is 4. Then in August, we celebrated our son, Stephen Lee Hunt's birthday. He is 27 and our baby and only boy. He was a joy to raise and our love for him is very strong. He has had his ups and downs, but always bounces back and hangs in there. He is a good, hard worker and a wonderful husband and a great daddy. I can agree with that. He is the world's best daddy. We love Jennifer, his wife, who is a perfect mate for Steve. We are so grateful for her. They truly were fantastic together. My parents, was life always great? No, it was not. Were they the best parents that a girl could ask for? Hands down. And even, they have been divorced for 21 years now, I think. 21 years. And they still are a fantastic team. They are just the perfect example of what parents should be to their children and grandchildren while they were married and even after they were divorced. So anyways, I can say that because they're my parents and I know firsthand. So they are absolutely wonderful and continue to be amazing parents and grandparents and friends to each other. So I love those two. and the 2 other people that they brought into our family after they were divorced. They blessed me with 2 amazing step parents, bonus parents. So, and I'm grateful for them too. Chris is my stepmom and Terry is my stepdad. So anyways, okay, enough about me. Moving on. September has come and gone so fast. I'm still working as a manicurist, only 3 days a week, not making very much money, so I don't know how much longer I can last. The people I work for, Carol and her daughter Linda Love, have been really nice to me, and they are good bosses, and I told them I would give them a year of my time. Then, if I don't work out, I will have to quit. Well, my mom, Mary Latimer, has returned from Hawaii. She had a great time. She did everything there was to do, including going up in a parachute that was hooked to a hydroplane boat and came down on the beach. She loved it. I hope I'm doing things like that when I'm pushing 70 years old. Actually, who am I kidding? I wouldn't do things like that right now pushing 40 years old because I'm scared to death of heights and falling. And actually, I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared of falling. Anyways, but good for her. Good for her. Good for grandma. Great-grandma. My great-grandma. Also, got prepared to scuba dive, but chickened out on that. But she said it was worth saving all those years for. We had Bill and Lori Fricke up for dinner, our daughter and son-in-law, on October 1st. After dinner, Bill helped Alec put up a small chandelier over the dining room table. It looks really nice. Little by little, we will get this place looking like we want it. It is already a nice, comfy place to live. Bill and Lori brought Cameron, 3 years old, and Tyler, 10 months old. They are just some of our precious grandchildren. They are a handful for Bill and Lori, but these are the growing pains that we all suffer through to receive the blessings that are ours as we raise these little spirits. How true that is. All right, October 1985. Alec and I had a steak dinner for Hank and Beverly Clow. We also invited Charlie and Shirley Clausen. They live in the house on the south side of the dam. He is retired from SRP and rents the south side house. Hank is the one who is over the homes on the dam and is responsible for getting us the house. October 7th, Alec's mom celebrated her 79th birthday, Blanche McCullough. We were not able to be with her, but as her health permits, and the next year being her 80th, we hope to have a celebration of children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. We also celebrated our daughter's birthday and her husband James Hargrave's birthday. Jim is on the 22nd and Jeanette is on the 28th. My mother's birthday is on October 30th, and our daughter Lori Fricke and Jeanette Hargrave and my daughter-in-law, Jennifer Hunt, and myself took a Spanish dinner over and helped my mother celebrate her 69th birthday. My mother is Mary Elizabeth Latimer. Latimer is her name from her second marriage. The year has zipped right along, faster than I wanted to. I wish the world would slow down and let us enjoy the things around us, but it seems faster and faster. That is also very true. November 1985. November 5th, 1985, we celebrated Chelsea Ray Hunt's second birthday, Steve and Jennifer's baby, and also all the kids and grandkids came up November 11th and helped celebrate Alec's birthday, his 52nd. November 28th, Thanksgiving was late this year, but Thanksgiving was different. All of the kids and grandkids were here, but they brought all the meal, and all I had to do was put the turkey in the oven. And we all went to Fountain Hills, a little community about 8 or 9 miles from here, and watched the parade. It was real cute. The kids really enjoyed it, and it kept them occupied till dinner time. December 1985. Because Thanksgiving was so late, it seemed like Christmas got here so fast. Alec and I went shopping right after Thanksgiving. I had made a lot of my gifts, but still had a few to get. All the kids helped me celebrate my 51st birthday on the 10th. Also, our daughter Lori had her 31st birthday on December 24th. Christmas Day, Alec and I went early to Jim and Jeanette Hargraves, our oldest daughter, and watched the kids open their gifts. They almost had them open before we got there. We then went to our son, Stephen and Jennifer's, and watched their children, and then went to Bill and Lori Fricke's and watched them. They had so much the kids were bored. It's hard not to spoil our kids, okay? We left and drove to Phoenix to visit my mom, Mary Latimer, and spent several hours. Both my brother John and brother Jim and their families came by. It was nice to see and visit them. On the 28th, we had a little party to celebrate our daughter-in-law, Jennifer Hunt's birthday. And that's it. that's a wrap on 1985. It was kind of just a quick year of moving and settling and moving into the Dam house, which also, I mean, obviously all of us that are listening, I'm sure, have many memories at the first Dam house, and we'll eventually get to the second Dam house. Anyways, so I love it. I love that we're getting close to, for me, you know, I'm getting close to me being born and close to like my own memories are going to start popping up in these. So that's pretty exciting. Anyways, okay, well, that is all I have for you today. And I don't even think I really have any pictures that I posted along with this. So I'm sorry, you just had to look at the top of my head through this whole thing if you're watching the video. But it is great. I say this every time, and I know, but I love these journals. I love reading them. I love getting to like be part of their intimate lives. They're just their day to day. Like, I'm sure sometimes when she was writing, she was probably thinking, nobody wants to hear this. Like, this is just boring stuff. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, and to think that we are only in the first journal. We are only in journal 1. And we're not even that far. Like, I'm probably only like 1/3 of the way through this. And to think that, I think she has, I don't remember how many, but like close to 40, somewhere between like 35 and 40 journals, something like that to get through. Like, y'all, we're in this for the long haul. So I hope you stick it out with me, and that you continue to enjoy it as much as I do, because Grandma and Grandpa, hands down, 2 of some of the greatest people in this world. And yes, I'm biased, but I think a lot of people would agree with that. So being able to be, we're kind of getting to be a little fly on the wall of their lives reading these journals. So absolutely love it. Anyways, okay, well, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and keep your eyes out for next week's episode, because we're going into 1986, which in my opinion might be the best year yet. I don't know why that might be. Time will tell. Time will tell.